we can't assume that people know what to do to manage their own health and well-being. We can't assume that. I have done, and that's where I get tripped up every time. And we all make assumptions, especially when we're under pressure. I think we have to assume exactly the opposite, which is they probably don't know what the strategies are they should be using. And certainly if they're doing that whole transition from school or education into work still is a bit of a, we don't really get it, we don't really understand it. So again, I would be focusing on what has worked at school, especially when you're under pressure. What have you done to maintain your well-being and health, and how does that translate across, and work with them to develop those strategies. If you find that it's too complex, then they need to be referred to specialist support to be able to do that. And especially if they're young people, they've got a very long working life ahead of them. The more we can do to help them develop their resilience, explain that actually a degree of stress is the norm, that is what it is, and have strategies to be able to cope with that unexpected stuff. So this kind of, I call it bounce back ability.
Is there a piece in here that organisations can do in a relatively low-key way in terms of when you're looking at what's involved in your induction, that there is a piece in there about we are a supportive workplace and we have these things that we can help you with. Do feel comfortable that if you do have anything like this, that you speak to your manager about it. Maybe some awareness sessions for managers, the mental health first aid maybe, or maybe some workshops around it's okay. It's okay to have some difficulties.
I think being a lawyer, I inevitably come at it, and I'll be very brief, from a risk management perspective. So the first point, you know about this issue now, and therefore for disability discrimination law purposes, if a person turns out to have a disability, you are fixed with knowledge. Whereas if you knew nothing about it and could not reasonably be expected to have known anything about it, the obligations under disability discrimination law, particularly reasonable adjustments law, don't come into play. Your point about
it's
what
a
you...
little bit of knowledge though, isn't it? So
But
it's like, what do I do?
Well, that's exactly.
I'm going to assume there's a problem and start putting all these things in place which are actually not necessary.
It's legitimate to discuss it with the person.
Yeah.
These are the observations about your behaviour in the workplace.
Yeah.
You've told us that historically you've had some difficulties.
Yeah.
Is it something about the workplace that is causing you a difficulty? In which case, what is it that we could think about adjusting? And then whether or not that adjustment would be reasonable would come down to the precise fact.